Hey guys, it's Albert Ramirez with the Ramirez team, and we're here with a special guest today from Alert Home Inspections.
I'm Randall Wooten. I'm the Master Inspector and the owner of Alert Home Inspection. We're based here in Weatherford, been in business for about 20 years. Multi-inspector company, we can work with them short option periods.
So Randall, I've been using you on home inspections for about a decade. We've been partnered up. Does a phenomenal job, very thorough, helps explain things really well. What I love about how Randall inspects a home, not only is he thorough and detailed in what he's finding, hidden dangers, things like that we normally wouldn't look for. Even agents sometimes don't know what to look for, experienced agents like ourselves, so it's so important to have a expert inspector. But he also explains it so thoroughly and so well to the client, to our buyers, that it takes away a lot of the fear, a lot of the uncertainty, and really helps you understand what are the major issues here and what are the minor issues and the little things that are so insignificant we really don't need to worry about, because there's going to be all kinds of stuff that show up on an inspection report. So I think the biggest question is, Randall, we get the home that we're looking for, we get under contract, we're excited, and we go through options, so it's time to do our due diligence. Why get an inspection?
Well, there's a lot of things that are going on, even in the new homes. There's a lot of people moving to the market and changing jobs, changing career fields. There's people in the construction industry that haven't had a great background on that. So some of the things that you see on newer homes may not be up to standards or up to quality that you're expecting in the house. And of course, in an older home, there's a lot of hidden dangers, things that people have had the years to cover over, or they've just simply gotten used to working around that defect on the home.
Wow. So we see that sometimes. So a home looks exceptional, right, from the cosmetic standpoint.
Yeah,
and so then what are you looking for? You're not just looking at the pretty colors and the pretty countertops, are you?
No, we take a look at things that a lot of people don't get the chance to look at. We get up in the attic and we're looking for evidence of water penetrations. Maybe there's a roof leak around a chimney, damage on the walls. We use infrared cameras, thermal imaging cameras, moisture meters, things that are going to give us evidence of damage or water penetration that's not going to be seen with the naked eye.
Okay. So during an inspection process, there's so many steps. It's pretty thorough. So you don't just go in, look at the home, look at the attic and some of the mechanical stuff and say, yep, she checks out, right? What specifically on a rating scale are you looking for with these sections of the home?
Well, it's a scientific approach. Everything's broke down into structural, so that's the foundation, the interior, the exterior walls, windows, ceilings, floors. Electrical, so the branch and the service. Mechanical, so the water heaters, the HVAC, the condensing units. So everything's broke down systematically. And as we go through here and start looking at the components, not only are we looking for the function, the everyday normal function, is it going to work with the thermostat or is it going to produce heated water? We're looking at the age of the equipment, the size of the equipment, how is it functioning, how is it installed, is it going to meet modern standards, or is it potentially going to create another problem down the road?
Okay, that's really cool. So they can be rest assured you're looking deep into the home. You're looking at the bones, the structure, because that's as an agent and having some buyers, and sometimes a lot of times new buyers. Man, structural is so important. We look at what are the hot topics, right? You better have good bones, right? Structural foundation. The roof, is the roof fairly new or is in good condition? Mechanical, right? Is the HVAC system operating? How old is the HVAC system? And then obviously electrical can cause a lot of hazards as well. And there's a lot of, a little bit more about that than most inspectors because you have an interesting background. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I retired from the fire service. I was a captain in Metroplex Fire Department. I taught building construction inspection practice at Tarrant County College. I was doing this on my off-duty days, and then God led me into this path that we started going through, and we've been inspecting now for about 20 years, which is almost as long as I rode a fire truck. But yeah, we do look at it a little different. This is an educational process, to be able to look at something, glean the information out of it, and be able to relate that back to a customer or a client in language that they understand.
Yeah, it's really cool to be aligned with another kingdom man, kingdom business. And that's what we look for at the Ramirez team as well, aligning ourselves with partners and affiliates and a great team around us that is all aligned with serving God.
Absolutely.
And we believe that when we do that, we allow God to lead and we surrender to that, He lets us take care of you. He lets us serve without restriction. You know, we say that all the time. This is why we do it. We do it for freedom and to be able to serve our clients without restriction. And so really cool to be in partnership with you on a lot of that, Randall. So a couple other things. Here's one thing that really gets me. So we're in a home and we see some things come up, man, and it looks like it's fresh paint, right? And so you talk about hidden dangers, man, and then we poke around and man, that wood's rotted.
Right.
And for me, wood rot is a big deal.
Yeah,
big deal.
That's a big siren.
Cool.
So what we do is we go in there, we use tools that some inspection companies don't use. We use the thermal imaging cameras, and it shows us moisture details. It shows us elevated temperatures because that's what it's reading. So we can use that same tool for moisture defects. We can use it for electrical defects. We can use it for air loss around ducts, things that are not going to jump right out to the everyday buyer. Also, these things are going to lead to damage down the road. Either it's going to affect you every month when you're paying your utility costs, or the long-term function of your home. Water penetration, I jokingly say it's the second most damaging thing on earth next to kids, but that's just my line.
Yeah, well, kids ruin everything. The only thing that gets harder and easier all at the same time.
That's right.
So really good information. It's just so critical. Guys, it's a minimal cost. What's your average home inspection cost?
We
Randall?
start at around $400. Like I said,
Perfect.
we use the infrared specialized equipment on every house and go from there. It depends on the systems and the size and all that, but we're going to start around $400. And also, you're going to want to pay for a quality inspection. National average is around $400 to $450. So if you've got someone coming in and offering you an inspection for, say, $250, ask the question, why? What's your background? What do you got to offer? What's your experience level? Because your family is going to be the one that sleeps there and wants to be safe there, and your money's the one that's invested.
Yeah, you get what you pay for. I truly believe that. Same thing with agent service. We talk about is commission negotiable? Yeah, absolutely. But you get what you pay for.
Yes, sir.
Right. So be careful with that. Like Randall said, when an inspector comes in and they are taking less of an amount to do an inspection, are they really going to be that thorough? Are they really going to be as professional and make sure they have your best interest? Or are they just trying to make a quick dollar on doing so? So that's a really good point. Also, when inspecting, let's say we get under contract, a lot of people think, hey, it's a new construction. We sell a lot of new construction. Man, it's going to be brand new. It's going to be inspected throughout the process. We don't need an inspection. We're going to save our $400 and move into this home without any further due diligence. What do you think about that?
Yeah, we've found a lot of interesting stuff. I've got a Facebook page that has new home defects on it. One of the things we found was getting up on the roof, and new bathroom vent fans have to terminate into clean air. So they terminate through the roof, and there's a cap on there. I found a house that they were scheduled to close on tomorrow, and it didn't have draft caps on there. I have found leaks in PEX, plumbing supply lines. No one has lived in these houses to tell you there's a defect. Those vendors come in, they work on it for a little bit, and then they head out. The plumber's not concerned about the electrician's not concerned about the painter, so everybody's going to do their part and move on. And nowadays, construction seems to be not craftsmen, but tradesmen. How quickly can we build this house and get to the next one?
Yeah, we see that more and more now.
Yes, sir.
And a big thing with that PEX, he's right. Like these vendors come in and out, and I'm not saying they're not, a lot of them, there's so many good tradesmen out there, so many good craftsmen, but they're running them so quickly, especially these builders in town. And Randall, you brought up a good point earlier. With the market the way it was, man, we saw an influx of agents that were coming into the business with no experience, right? But they were getting we had so much rapid growth in the industry that they were getting closings really without any experience. You saw an influx in inspectors come into the business. We saw an influx of new builders come into the business. No experience. You got people out there building homes who don't really know how to build homes. So what have you seen in all that?
Well, and we live here in Parker County. Yeah. And so unless you're in a municipal area, if you're out in the county, there are no standards. There's no one following up on it, and builders are supposed to build to what's considered the model codes. Some of them will even have an inspector that works for the builder, comes along and signs off on the paperwork. But again, he does not have to enforce the standards that are in place. He's actually working for the builder. Some of these tradesmen, last year they were putting down concrete, this year they're building custom cabinets. And a little bit before that, they were doing irrigation, but now you send your money down to the state and guess what? You're a custom home builder.
Wow.
So that's what it takes. You send $500 down there, pass an online test, and you can build a house. So it's good to have someone on your side that's going to come in and look after the safety of your family, look after your investment. And again, there's some just like realtors that don't have the background in this. And you need someone that's going to look after it, but also has the knowledge to interpret the codes and the standards and understand how the house is going to perform long term with the shorts that have been going on. There's been a lot of things that were going on that was real estate basically was a order taking. Are you looking for a 322 with 1,900 square foot? We've got that. Here it is, and all of a sudden they're closing on as quick as they can.
Quickly as possible, and very little due diligence, if any.
Right.
It was a hectic market, and we're not in that as much anymore. Will it come back to that extent? Probably not, but it will always fluctuate. We will shift to a seller's market, we'll shift to a buyer's market, but it's getting pretty balanced to what we're really used to and accustomed to over the last decade, and since Randall's been in the business with inspections. So I think you said it best. We're here to have your back and have your best interest. And if you need a quality inspector, Randall's your guy. We trust him with our inspections and our buyers, and we get such good feedback with our buyers for Randall, and saying of how well he took care of them, how thorough he was, and how well he explained everything. So thank you for joining us today, Randall. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We've got your back. If you need us, get in contact with us. You know how to reach us. Call us, text us, hit us up on Facebook, IG, TikTok. We're on all social media platforms. Check out our YouTube page. The entire video will be up there for you, and then we'll have some snippets on our other social media for you to click on and watch. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.